Today, I want to show you how building a coaching business is much simpler than you think. They will not care how you do it. They will not care what you do for them. This will save you a lot of money and potential time. You can't obsess about being the mad scientist that comes up with the best possible way of delivering a service to get the best results. Alright guys, welcome back to another video with Work, Life and Balance. Today, I want to show you how building a coaching business is much simpler than you think. Now you hear this all the time, that business is hard, but before you go and drop 5-10 grand on a mentor to sell you the dream and teach you all the secrets, this will save you a lot of money and potential time to realize that it's far simpler than you think. And that's why so many people are successful in creating a coaching business, and you can do it for yourself too. And I'm talking specifically about the early stage of building a business where it's still just you're a solopreneur, you're doing everything yourself, you're running the whole business yourself, but you can make a lot of money by doing that, okay? And the reason why I'm making this video, because usually this video is all about scaling a service business, so not the very early stage, but I was inspired to make this video because of a conversation I had in the gym yesterday where someone I know, not very well, but we had a chat, and the chat went on for like 10-15 minutes, and this was in between sets. So it got to a point where I could only say so much, and then I thought there's probably a lot of people out there in the same situation where he was just thinking about taking up another job from 6 p.m. till midnight every weekday, as well as working his usual 9 to 5, and he does some shifts on the weekends as well, because he can't see any other way of earning but selling his time for minimum wage, pretty much, which I totally understand. I've worked a minimum wage job in the past as well, but that mindset of all I can do is take a job and sell my time, which is fair enough when you haven't got a skill that you can offer to anyone that wants it as a job or as a business. But I said to him, do it if you absolutely need to just get by for now, but save as much as you can to buy yourself time and invest in learning a skill. And this is when he had the doubts of, but there's so many people on Instagram, they take photos of the rented Lamborghinis, the cars, the living abroad, all those things, selling you the dream, showing they live in the dream, right, where it's all mostly rented. And I know that from being around a lot of people that do this stuff. And the reality is the stuff out there does work, and building a genuine business does work. It can make a lot of money, but don't fall for the trap for the most of the fake gurus that are selling you on the dream of, like, I can teach you this business model, but the way they're actually making money is doing something totally different. It's literally selling you the courses or selling you the mentorship to build that thing that they don't even want to build themselves, because it's not going to make as much money as them selling you the dream. So I want to oversimplify business. Very quick video for you today, right? And it's literally 3 parts. Business is 3 parts. So again, the reason I'm saying this is because if you've come across content online from gurus telling you, for example, you see one person says one thing, one person says the opposite, because they're fighting each other in the guru space to be the best guru. For example, one will say send 30 DMs every day. One will say don't, get a business and fully capacity without sending cold DMs, without doing outreach. So one will position itself completely different to the other. It's natural in business because it's competitive, but it's very confusing to the audience. So I want you to, after this video, be able to say which of these 3 parts does that actually fit into. If someone's saying send 30 DMs, why are they saying that? What's that going to do for business? So the 3 parts are very simple, right? You've got leads, which is part 1. You've got part 2, which is sales. And then you've got part 3, which is delivery. Here we go. There we go. Right. Now I know this, you're looking at that thinking, no way is business that simple, but it really is. Leads. How do you get leads? So how do I get people to know that I exist, that I am here on planet Earth? Look into the real world. If you walk into a gym, I'm referring to a gym because we've got a gym, and also we had a separate online fitness coaching business, completely different things. And when I went in, speak to people, start having conversations, I'm there, I'm present. That's how people got to learn and know about my stuff. Physical location with the gym, people drive past every day. They see it exists, right? So that's getting us leads and traffic. There's also, I'll dive into each one quickly of how you can actually do it. Sales is then the process, it's the bridge between people now know about my stuff. They're not getting my stuff. How can I make them get my stuff? How can I make a deal with them? Basically make a deal with them. How can I shake hands after having a conversation and they buy my stuff and they get a result? Yeah? And then delivery is whatever promise you made in the sales process, you make sure you deliver on that outcome that they want. It's the dream outcome that they want. Okay? Gonna refer it back to PB Academy because it's very self-explanatory as a coaching business, a service business, online service business. Not the gym. I'm not talking about the gym we've got. I'm talking about the service business that we built that built up to over 250 active clients at one point. We had a full team of coaches delivering the service, doing the delivery. So we scaled way beyond this, right? So, but I'm talking about right now how you, that person in that shoes, can learn these skills and make a change. With fitness coaching, it's very easy, right? It's an industry that's been around for a long time. So the skill you've got to offer someone is you know and understand nutrition, training. You can help them stay accountable. You can motivate them to stay consistent, ultimately get the result, right? This is what mentorships are promising you as well. For most people, if you've got a skill to offer, you've already got that part on lock. Yes, you need to learn and understand systems over time to maybe scale it up and handle more people. But to begin with, if you know how to play a guitar, if you think you know it well enough so that you can teach someone and they can get as good as you. I'm not saying that you're going to promise someone to be number one in the world because you're not number one in the world, not false promises. But if you know how to get someone better to the point where you're selling them on the place they want to get to, say you're level 10, they want to get to level 5, you advertise, you help people get from beginner to level 5, couch to 5k, same thing with fitness, fat loss, lose 20 pounds in 8 weeks. Like those types of guarantees, those offers, whatever you think you can deliver on, that's your service you want to offer, right? I'm talking about B2C now as well because this is where most people start, especially locally. If they want to start on their own, they maybe don't have something to offer the B2B world, but I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible. So business is literally lead, sales, delivery. That's the only 3 parts ever. And where this gets confused and blended is when you're scaling up, when these massive companies exist. But I can promise you, even the biggest companies in the world that you think of, obviously this is specific to coaching and service-based industries, but think about Tesco, right? How do they get leads? They advertise a lot on TV networks. You always see ads, and they're an oligopoly, so that basically they're in competition/agreement with all the other big supermarkets. So in the UK, we have Asda, there's Waitrose, there's the lower end ones, Lidl, Aldi. All those ones, they advertise on TV, and they usually show price competition between each other as well. So they're advertising all the time. That's how they get leads. They've also got so many locations that whenever you drive somewhere, you pretty much see one of them, right? So then you go into the supermarket. With this, because it's not a service they're selling you a product, it's the sales process. They've got the price there, very easy. You walk in, you basically shake the hand with whatever thing you pick up, and when you go to the counter, whether it's with the salesperson or the checkout person, or automated these days, the automated checkout, that's the sales part. And delivery, you just take that food home. You've got it already, right? That's a product. I'm talking specifically now about service business, but I'm just saying how easy this relates to every single bit. This is how business works. This is how business operates, right? So just to keep it simple, I want to keep this video short and sweet. With leads, the things I want you to focus on, I'm not going to tell you all of the ways of doing this, right? But the things I want you to focus on is what you can control. So you've got outreach at the top. So outreach. So you've got cold, warm, and I'm giving credit to Homosio making this so simple. And then you've got content, yeah? That doesn't even say content. And content, and you've got paid, and then you've got free. Free content is social media. So these are the 4 ways you can advertise. These are the four ways you can get leads. So cold outreach is reaching out to people that don't know you even exist. Warm outreach is reaching out to people that have either engaged with you on social media with the free content, or they potentially know you exist. It's within your circle, within your network. You've got their phone number. You've bumped into them, had a conversation. That's warm outreach. You're reaching out to them to start a conversation. So conversations with leads lead into the next step with the sales process. Free content, advertising basically on social media. It could be just posting your journey, whatever it is you want to do, talking about the skills you got, value posting, offering advice in short clips, long videos like this, giving away free stuff. And then again with paid content, I wouldn't go down that route because you haven't got money yet. That's the point. So you can't pay for a Meta ads, Facebook ads, Insta ads. You can't pay for Google ads. You can't pay for ads because you haven't got no money. You haven't got that. You can't use that as a channel yet for leads. That's too risky, and you're going to burn loads of cash. Use the free stuff and put in the hours, because this just costs you time. Put in the hours to reach out to people consistently. This is why it works when gurus do tell you, mentors tell you, do 30 DMs a day, 30 messages a day. Do 10 messages a day. Do 100 messages a day. Do 400 calls per day, cold calls. Like, this exists. Why do you think you have call centers doing this for massive businesses? Because it works, and it's one of the only ways you can get leads. So you can either think, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to be that guy, or you can learn the right way of doing it, the ethical way of doing it. Then we've got sales, okay? All I want you to see sales as, because people hear the word sales and they think of that sleazy car salesman pushing crap on someone that they don't want. Sales with the service businesses, you're not doing a one-time deal where you can screw someone over and never speak to them again, and you won the deal. Like that number one, that's going to kill your reputation all the time, and if you're a good person, you wouldn't want to do that anyway. But some people do that, right? What I would say for this is service delivery is all about a start. This is a starting relationship. So to make the relationship good and nurture the relationship over time, you need to have a very good starting point. It's like going on a first date. So that sale is like the first date, right? You go on that first date and you basically agree, right, okay, we're a good fit. We're going to start seeing each other again and we're going to work together on this. So sales is just a conversation to find out if they are the right fit for what you are going to deliver. If they are not the starting beginner level that you are advertising for with your good guitar program service that you offer, or they're too advanced for you, it's not going to work well. The person that's too advanced is going to think this is terrible, I'm better than this guy. And the person that is maybe not at the beginner level is going to be a little bit too boring for them at the start. You want someone that fits your ideal starting position, basically your target audience, your dream client at the very beginning, right? It's a discovery call or discovery conversation. You're just trying to find out way more about them, asking loads of questions. We've got the full pillars we can go through in a different video. But basically, this is just, I just want you to see this as a conversation, a convo, right? It's just questions, and you just want to find out, is it a good fit? Is it a fit? And then you decide on, obviously, the way to close, you know. If you want to go into depth on this, we could spend hours talking about the correct way to set up these conversations so you have a good flow. We've got videos on it on here. But the sales process for this, people either close in DMs, people either close on a Zoom call or on a phone call. We do both because depending on the person that you're speaking to, they might prefer a better way of either way of doing it. So you make sure you're prepared for both. But that's all that is. And then the next stage is delivery. Delivery, you need to decide on how you're going to deliver the service. But this is the shocking thing, right? I see so many people procrastinate about this. They don't start a business. They don't start because they want the delivery to be perfect. You can't perfect your delivery if you've got nobody to work with. Not only that, imagine if you do create the perfect product, the best possible fitness service, whatever coaching service in the world, but nobody ever finds out it even exists. And don't be that entrepreneur or that wannabe entrepreneur, the entrepreneur that believes if I build something big enough, everyone will come. If I build something great enough, everyone will want it. If you just look back through history, the innovators, the experimenters, the ones that actually discover something new are very rarely the people that get rich from that idea, right? So what does this mean? This just means you can't obsess about being the mad scientist that comes up with the best possible way of delivering a service to get the best results. You're never going to be successful by doing that. And I don't like to be a guy that tells you you're never going to do something because you might be the anomaly. That's when you figure out this part here. That's when you iterate with the person you're working with. The more people you work with, you improve this about the product. You improve this about the service delivery. You realize, oh, people start to drop off on week 3 or 4. What can I do to improve that point of the program? If it's a 16-week, 12-week program, if it's a year-long program, what do I do at that point there? So I'm telling you, do not focus on the delivery until you actually get to that point. Otherwise, you're going to be obsessing and being that perfectionist that never actually gets started and never gets anything done because they want things to be perfect. And it's not going to be perfect unless you've got people to work with. So delivery is just all about whatever you so literally the things you do. Just to keep it simple, the things you do to get the outcome. So the desired outcome for the client, the results, yeah? Because that's all that matters. If you get someone the result that they want, they will not care how you do it. They will not care what you do for them. They will not care how you do it. They don't think and compare the things you do for them to the money they're spending with you. They just care about the result, and they've made a decision on that day when they shook your hand that if I'm to pay you £600 for 3 months of work, that result you've promised me by 3 months' time is worth it to me. I don't care if you text me once a day. I don't care if you text me once a week. I don't care if you never text me. If I get that result, I'm happy with that transaction. I'm happy with that agreement. Now, some people may be different. There's going to be anomalies, as with everything, right? So don't get bogged down on the small minority of people that are different. That just means that they're not the right fit for you. And yeah, it works. We've done it. I personally, when it was just me, scaled to over 100 clients I was handling myself because we did have the delivery system on lock. We were producing results like no tomorrow. We outcompeted everyone with the standard results we were producing. And at that point, only at that point, when you have all these systems down on lock, I'm going to put this in green because this is the point that everyone wants to talk about, right? I got to over 100 clients myself by doing these 3 things well and figuring out systems and processes for the lot of it. And then only at that point do you then come to the point that everyone talks about, which is literally scale. Yeah? And that's where you basically delegate those tasks, delegate those certain things, definitely starting with the thing that your least favorite thing to do is, or you know your weakness is, and you bring in people to do those things and take it to a higher level, a higher standard than what you can do on your own, because you're running the shop, you're running the show, you're running the whole thing. I hope this helps. I hope this helps you get started. I hope it's simplified business for you, because this is how all business works. And yeah, this channel is all about scaling a service business online. So make sure you subscribe if you're trying to do that, if you're starting, if you're scaling, whatever you're doing. We're doing it together. We're documenting the journey as well. It's not just with PB Academy. We've got Social Proof as well, which is a software to help you convert viewers into customers online. So yeah, check the description below, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.